You're probably here because you want to find out how content creators make money. I'm here to share that with you today. I'm Angela Brown, and I am a content creator, and I am on a burnout recovery process. Here today to share with you how content creators make money, and when you're burned out, how that is affected by the process. One of the first things we want to take a look at is what are the different currencies. Now, I live in America, and so in America, we use USD, which are dollars. There are also pounds. I just came from England. We paid everything with pounds. There are also pesos. So when we say currency, we're typically thinking of money, but there are a whole bunch of different types of currencies that content creators deal with. Now, I want us to be very clear that you do not have to necessarily be paid with money in order to pay your bills. There are a lot of different ways and a lot of different currencies, including time and energy, that content creators will spend in exchange for something else. So I want us to look at the barter system. Barter, B-A-R-T-E-R. What it is it stands for trade. I'm going to give you something in exchange for something else, right? And so as content creators, we are super creative people, and we figure out different ways to monetize our platforms. And so it could be TikTok, it could be YouTube, it could be Instagram, Facebook, whatever the platforms are that we use. There are different ways to monetize that are not necessarily in exchange for cash. So what are the monetization ways? We will talk about those a different day when we talk about, we've actually monetized 27 different ways on our YouTube channel. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do things in exchange for currency, but what is the currency? Okay, so I want us to look at the currency first so we then can know what we're giving out in exchange for what we're receiving. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing unless you stop and you realize what it is that you're spending. Okay, so the first and most valuable resource that we have ever is our time, because there are only 168 hours in a week and you're never going to get any more. You can always get more money. You cannot get more time. So your most valuable resource across the board for every single person that's ever made a bunch of money is their time. And the less time you have, the more valuable it becomes, right? It's a supply and demand. Lots of times when we start a business, we have more time than we have money. And so we end up spending our time in order to, I don't know, build a platform or to build out our social media channels or to do marketing or any of those things. So time is our most valuable resource and always will be. So we want to guard our time with our lives, right? Let's not fritter it away. Let's not waste it. That's our most valuable asset, and it's our most valuable currency. The next one is money. Right now, many of us live in an era where we exchange dollars or pounds or pesos for things like electricity and a roof over our head. And it's hard to buy that kind of stuff with likes and shares, which is another form of currency, right? The audience engagement is a currency. And so because we have bills to pay, eventually we have to turn all of the other currencies into money in order to pay our bills. That's how we buy food. That's how we buy gasoline for our vehicles or petrol. That's how we buy insurance. All the things are purchased with money, if you will. So we want to have money. Now, a few years ago, Bitcoin came out and was really popular in the sense that it was a different currency. And people were like, whoa, there's a different currency. Okay. Well, what we're looking at is barter, for example, is a currency. It is a currency for which the IRS, the United States IRS, wants to be paid. They want to be paid their taxes on barter. But barter is this. As a content creator, I'm in the cleaning business. There are vacuum companies that will contact me and say, I will send you a free vacuum in exchange for a product review. Okay. So what they're doing is they're trying to give me something and I give them something in return. That's called a direct trade. I give you something, you give me something back in return. That's a direct trade. Now, there are barter exchanges, and that's like a warehouse where I would put in my product review and someone would put in, let's say, a vacuum, but let's say I don't need a vacuum in return. Okay. So I might offer product reviews on a multiplicity of things. They put in a vacuum and I say, I would like to do a review on maybe a vacuum, maybe something else, but I don't get the vacuum in return, right? I could get anything else in return. In the cleaning business, many people will say, I will trade you nail service, like fake nails, in exchange for house cleaning. but maybe the house cleaner doesn't need fake nails. So the direct trade is not a good trade. Or let's say the fake nails cost $60, but the house cleaning costs $200. So that's not a fair direct trade. So then the house cleaner would be taking a loss every time they clean that person's house. By using a barter exchange, the nail supply company can say, hey, we will donate $60 worth of nail supplies, and in exchange, they get $60 of barter dollars or barter equivalent back, barter points. What they do then is they use those to pay for cleaning services. So they might need to donate 5 or 6 sets of nails in exchange for one house cleaning. With the house cleaning, if the house cleaner doesn't need the nail decorations or the nail salon service, what they could do is they could take their money that they got from the barter exchange and they could turn around and they could buy things like hotels or Airbnbs, or maybe there's an IT person that can come out to their house and help them set up some kind of something on their computer if they need internet service or help or whatever. There are different services. So typically services are what are used in the barter industry because the cost of those are people's time, right? So my encouragement is if you're unaware and you're not sure how to use a direct trade, go through a barter system where they will take 7 to 10% of every transaction as their fee. But they will put you in touch with a whole bunch of other services that you can use so you're not paying cash for those items. So there are different ways you can make money. All right. Another currency is health. Your health and well-being is a currency because it buys your creativity, which will allow you then to create content that you can turn around and sell for dollars, right? You can also sell them to a barter exchange and in turn take the barter dollars and buy other things. But you can't be creative if you're burned out, which is the whole gist of this series. So your health, number one, is a currency that is going to help you regulate all the different things that you do, from content creation to creativity and the skills that you're able to learn. It's really hard to learn a new set of skills if you are in burnout mode and you can't concentrate and you have no desire, right? So your health is a currency. So we have money, we have time, we have health. Then we also have creativity. Creativity will help us build and buy friendships. And relationship currency is real. When you invest in a relationship and you keep putting stuff into a relationship, those relationships pay you back. Those relationships come back in the form of content collaborations with other content creators. It comes in the form of return from audience. You put relationships into your audience and you invest in your audience and your audience pays you back. They pay you back with likes and shares and purchases and participation. So there's an audience or an, an engagement currency. And the engagement currency is where your audience participates in what you're doing. So for example, I'm giving you a video right now. If you learn something from this video, giving me a thumbs up trips the algorithm. And so I can buy algorithm hits with audience engagement. And what that does is the algorithm hit will show the video that I'm making or the podcast or the social media post or whatever it is I'm doing. They will show that to more people. Okay. So audience engagement can buy me algorithm hits, and the algorithm hits can buy me brand deals. And the brand deals come in the form of ad revenue. It comes in the form of people doing direct trades with me that either are direct trades or they go through the barter exchange. Also, I can get with ratings and reviews and comments and all this stuff because of the algorithm hits. I can help build what's called authenticity currency. And that is where you purchase trust and respect and credibility. Okay. So there are lots of different kinds of currencies that content creators deal with on a day-to-day basis. The reason we're going through this burnout series right now is because if you are unaware of the different currencies that you're interacting with on a day-to-day basis, it's easy to railroad right over the top of them and not pay attention. And if you're not authentic, you're not going to build credibility and trust. If you don't have the authenticity, you're not going to be able to build an audience. And if you don't have the audience, you're not going to get the audience engagement currency, which is then going to help the algorithms, which then is going to help you with the brand deals and the ad revenue, which then is going to translate into the dollars, which then pays your bills. right? So it comes from your time currency and your health currency. These are all really important currencies that we invest in order to grow a business. So I want to throw that out to you today because we're going to be talking about monetization in a couple of these episodes. And in order for us to do that, there are different ways we're going to tap into the different elements of the currencies that are available to us. So I want us to be on our A game so that we feel fantastic. Speaking of our A game, I want to give you a quick update on how I did yesterday. A couple things were a little wonkadoodle, and in my recovery process, because I'm keeping track, I wanted to share with you what's going on and how I might be able to improve or make small tweaks from day to day. All right, so I want to talk about my sleep for last night. Last night I got 4 hours and 58 minutes of sleep, which is a huge investment from the night before where I got 5 hours the night before, but then I got 3 the night before that. So I'm trying to build up, and I slept really peacefully last night. So as I'm on this reboot journey, one of the things I've noticed is even though I'm not sleeping a full 8 hours, for example, it's a very peaceful, restful sleep. So I'm asking my body to do a whole bunch of new things, and my body is responding by letting me sleep really soundly when I'm sleeping. So I'm really happy about that. All right, the hydration. I'm doing great on the hydration. I drank 7 of these yesterday, and that's kind of my go-to. My goal is 7 of these. I already drank 3 of these this morning, so I'm doing really well with the hydration. But hydration is what literally keeps our body flowing. So we got to stay hydrated at all times. Doing really well on that. As far as the intermittent fasting, I intermittent fasted. My goal is 20 hours a day. I fast for 20 hours a day, and I eat during a 4-hour window. Last night, I was waiting for my husband to get home because I was hoping we would have dinner together. And so I waited an extra 4 hours. So I fasted a full 24 hours. And then he called me and he said, I'm on my way to the hospital because my dad is not well. And so I was like, oh no, I'm going to eat without you then. So I ate without him while he went to the hospital. And so I ate after 24 hours. And I was unable to take before and after pictures last night because he normally takes my pictures for me. I was going to show you my daily progress, but instead I took a picture of my salad that I made a great big salad, and I made some, talking about nutrition. I made my first stab at homemade ginger dressing for my salad. So that was really out of my comfort zone. That was really out of my range, but I wanted some salad dressing that didn't have a lot of preservatives in it. And so I decided if I made it myself with fresh ginger and carrots, it would be more in alignment with my goals for nutrition. So now I tried something new and I was really happy because it was delicious, and like I said, that was out of my comfort zone. I don't cook. I never go inside the kitchen if I can help it. And now look at me, I was making salad dressing. So I was happy about that. For my workouts, I'm doing all out massive action workouts right now because I'm trying to lose another 30 pounds before the end of the year. And so far, I have lost 14 pounds since I started this process a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited about that because although I've been up and down a little bit with the intermittent fasting, I lose a little bit of weight and then I eat and I gain a little bit back, but I haven't gained all the weight back. So it's creating a new norm in my system. So for my workouts, I was at the gym again this morning, all out massive action. I'm swimming in the swimming pool in hopes of recovering from knee surgery. My knee is feeling great. So that's the progress that I have. But again, going to the gym every single day, except for I missed 3 days over the weekend. So I am in a great mood. I feel fantastic. I've been super productive at work, which is my business. How is this reboot affecting my business? I'm doing really, really well. I'm on target with all of my goals for this week. So I've been really productive, and I'm really happy that I've had so much energy in spite of the fact that I've been fasting and working out like crazy. You wouldn't think that that would be a good combination, but it just so happens it's a really good combination for me right now. And I'm trying to listen to my body if it's, I need a nap or if I'm a little bit tired or something, to try to pay attention to that. And I notice for me, when we talk about the challenges, my challenges are I have been on an old system, and the old system is go, 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 and not take breaks. And so the challenge for me is to stop and say, I do need a break. I'm going to take a break right now. And with my Fitbit, it reminds me every hour to get up and move about for a little bit. So I have a little mini trampoline in my office. And every hour when it buzzes, I jump up and I try to jump on the trampoline for about 90 seconds. And so it's whatever the minute is, like if I'm in the minute 4 p.m., it's 4:11 p.m. I will jump on the trampoline until it turns to the 4:12 and then 4:13. So whatever the rest of that minute is, plus one more full minute. It's not a big workout, but it kind of like gets my blood going again and my oxygen to my brain. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go back to work. So I'm asking my body again to do radically different things. But in order to get radically different results, I have to do radically different things. I got to eat differently, and I got to fast, and I've got to work out, and I have to reboot my system. And along with that, that means listening to my body. When I was trying to go to sleep last night at about 9:30 at night, I was like, I'm ready for bed. I'm ready to go to bed. So instead of forcing myself to stay up and work a little bit longer, I went to bed. And that's new for me. Okay. I usually say, oh, I have just a couple more things to do, and I'll force myself to stay up. So last night I didn't. I was like, it's bedtime. And then I went to bed. So new things for me. But the challenge is making it okay to have a new norm, right? That's a challenge for me. All right. So the progress that I've made so far, I am going through menopause right now. So there's a whole bunch of weird wackadoodle stuff going on with hormones, but I feel like it's starting to even out. I'm really pleased with the way the intermittent fasting has responded to my body. I do want to preface this by saying before I started this process, I did go to my doctor. I had my annual checkup. I had my mammogram. I had a colonoscopy. I had all my blood work done. They said, you're in fantastic shape. The only thing that's stopping you is you. And I said, okay. And so I got clearance from my doctor. I told my doctor what I was going to do, that I was going to start on intermittent fasting, that I was going to exercise every day. They said, okay. And then I belong to my chart, which has all of my information for my doctor, from my doctor, notes from my doctor, everything that happened in all of our sessions, from my colonoscopy to my mammogram to my annual checkup, my blood work, all that stuff. And so all the records are there. So they're monitoring my progress. And I just wanted to let you know, don't go at this alone. If you have clearance from a doctor that like, hey, you're okay to do this, then go ahead and give it a try. But I did get clearance from my doctor, so I'm good to go. Follow me at lifelongproductions.com/burnout. That's where I am listing all of my before and after pictures. And I'm also doing my daily eating, what I ate, how I exercised, what I did for my exercises. If there's anything weird or unusual, I'm also listing things that I've learned throughout the course of the day. And so if I'm working on, like right now, we're installing a new program that's going to replace WooCommerce, and it's called Paymatic, and it's by the WP Ninja team, Managed Ninja team, that does all of the Fluent Forms and the Fluent Booking and the Fluent Support and the Fluent CRM, and it's like the Fluent Suite. And they are specializing in also a payment platform that works with everything else. So today we're installing that, and that's some fun stuff that we're doing as content creators behind the scenes in order to grow our business. So follow me over at lifelongproductions.com/burnout. They are in fact sponsors of the show. I'm super excited to be working with them because they have a group mastermind each week where they're helping content creators work through finishing projects that they've started. So I know that like yesterday we had the coffee club meeting, and we were talking about installing forms on our websites that help convert in a variety of different areas. We talked about email marketing campaigns. There are website owners that are juicing up their websites to have different offers that they have available for sale. Books, content creation, YouTube's, TikToks. We're helping content creators do a whole bunch of stuff, which I'm really excited about, because a lot of content creators do not know how to monetize their efforts. And so that's what we're doing over at Lifelong Productions. And they're sponsoring this particular burnout series so that we can help content creators get back on track and feel fantastic, so you can be the best version of you and create the best content that your audiences deserve. So come on over and find us if you haven't already. All right, that is it for today. Go live with passion. And I want you to remember two things. Number one, you matter. And number two, you are enough. That's it.